Good morning. I know some of you are still finding your seats, but as you're walking back, I'm going to introduce myself and the team and tell us what we're going to be doing next. So if you're still walking, that's okay. If you're still moving around, that's okay, because we're actually going to be getting up to move here in a moment. So my name is Destiny Hardney. I'm a co-founder of an organization called Dream, Create, Inspire Tour. And we're an organization that specializes in songwriting workshops, community events, and performances that are rooted in collective healing and liberation. So what we're gonna do for the next about 15-ish minutes is practice some of that together. And I have on the stage with me some musicians, some people that I work with in amazing positions that are gonna help us move through some conversations. And tomorrow on the agenda, you probably see us again because we're gonna make a live mixtape together, all right? So today, I need y'all to really be thoughtful, really be in conversation with those around you, because we're gonna be listening to the conversations, and that's gonna form our lyrics for tomorrow, all right? So before we get started, I'm gonna let the crew introduce themselves, and then they're gonna come out into the space and be with you as I kind of facilitate the questions that we're gonna be going through.
How's it going, everybody? My name is Chris Jones. I'm a producer, engineer, and a team member of DCI, and just happy to be here with you guys.
Check one, check two, we live? Yeah. What's up with y'all? Yo, my name is Wayne Watts. I'm one of the co-founders of Dream, Create, Inspire, and also an MC. Excited to cook up something dope with y'all.
Hey, my name is D-Trait. I am an artiste, singer, rapper, songwriter, all that cool stuff. Can't wait to cook up with y'all.
Hey everybody, I'm Casino Perosi. Soy músico y artista cubano-americano de Miami, Florida. Bilingual, I perform bilingual, I speak bilingual, so if you want to reach out with something in Spanish, don't hesitate. I'll take care of you.
All right, thank y'all. You can go ahead. So as they come down into the space, I'm going to kind of explain how this session is going to go. I'm going to ask a series of questions, and they're going to actually be up on the screen too. If someone can help me, I don't have the clicker up here just to go through the slides. But essentially what we're going to be doing is I'm going to ask some questions, and I want you to decide for yourself how you want to do this. So you can turn to your neighbor and talk to them about it. You can get up and go across the room and find someone that you've never met before and talk to them about it. But the purpose of this space is to network amongst each other, but also to really talk about power individually, but also collectively. So the questions are going to prompt that, but I want you to challenge yourself and push yourself to go meet somebody new during this process. And so it doesn't have to be a one-on-one conversation. You can have a crew of 10 people talking together. You can talk to one other person. Do what feels good to you, all right? So before we even get to those questions, what I would like for y'all to do, if you feel comfortable, just stand up. Wherever you are, just stand up. And I want you to just place your hand on your belly or your chest. You can choose, or both. And just breathe, thank you. Just breathe. Notice your breath. Don't try to change it, don't try to manipulate it. Notice the tempo of it. Does it feel fast, slow, heavy, light? Just notice it. And I want you all during this session and during sessions following this one to come back to this breath sometimes. So even if you're in the middle of a conversation, if you're daydreaming, if you find your attention going somewhere else, just come back to this breath, to come back to being in this present space. All right? Okay. There we go. So I might skip through a few questions because I made a lot of them, but for the sake of time, I want to make sure you all have time and space to really talk to each other. So as we're having these conversations, I would like for us to remember some kind of agreements. So be yourself. Share whatever you feel comfortable sharing with whoever you're talking to. Be authentically yourself. Don't be afraid of saying anything wrong. There are no wrong answers here. Respect the mic, so whoever's talking, whether it's me up here or it's someone you're talking to in the space out there, be respectful of each other's words and honor what everyone is sharing with you. And remember your power in this, okay? So we are talking again about individual power and collective power, so keep that in mind as we move through. So I just had y'all breathe, right? And I had y'all notice. Just notice that breath. So don't try to change it. Don't try to manipulate it. And also, we're going to be doing some reflecting, okay? So some of the questions that I'm going to put up here and ask you out loud are going to ask you to kind of think backwards and reflect on something. Other questions are going to ask you to imagine something. All right? So take your time with it. Be yourself with it. You can be telling jokes if you want to tell jokes. You can be dancing around, moving around. And you don't have to stay in the same spot and talk to the same people for every question. So keep that in mind. Do what feels good to you. All right, y'all ready? So I want you to find whoever you want to talk to for this first question. And I'm going to give you about 5-ish minutes, okay? So the question is, how can individuals harness their inner strength to maintain a balanced state of wellness in their daily lives? So when you hear this question, when you see this question, interpret it how you interpret it, all right? So now you get to go. Y'all have about 1 more minute for this question. 1 more minute. All right, begin to wrap up your conversations and bring your attention back to my voice. So finish up your last thoughts on that question and bring your attention back to my voice. All right, so we're gonna move to the next question. I wanna point out, y'all notice in the space, the DCI Tour, Dream, Create, Inspire Tour artists are walking around right now and taking some notes. So they're listening to you, they're talking to you. Remember that some of your thoughts and some of your reflections may go into our song for tomorrow. So I want to also name that if they don't get to you, but you have something that you would think is amazing, make sure you get it to us, okay? So you can give it to us on a note card, write it down. You can come talk to us after the session or even during, okay? So don't forget that. If you don't see them anywhere near you, write it down if you hear something or you say something that is so powerful, all right? So the next question is, what are your superpowers? So this is your turn to brag about yourself. And I want you to name at least 3. Brag about yourself, at least 3. You got about 30 seconds to wrap up this conversation before I put up the next question. So don't forget, you can write things down if you don't get to say it out loud. All right, as you wrap up that last question, I want you to look back up for our next question. It relates very, very deeply, very, very much to our last question, y'all. So our last question is, in what ways do you believe that collaborating with others and harnessing collective power can lead to significant, sustainable changes in health and wellness outcomes? So I'll say that one more time. In what ways do you believe that collaborating with others and harnessing collective power can lead to significant and sustainable changes in health and wellness outcomes? And consider those superpowers you just talked about. So think about yours. Who else do you need in the space with you? Who else do you need in the network with you to balance that out to improve and change health outcomes? All right, go. All right, begin to wrap up those conversations. And remember, write something down if you don't get to say it out loud. Remember, write it down if you don't get to say it out loud. So begin to wrap up your conversations and have a seat back where you were. That's how I'll know we're ready to move forward. So remember, write it down if you don't get to say it out loud. Wrap up your conversations and have a seat right back where you were. All right, I hear some conversations still going, and they sound amazing. But we do need to wrap up this part, so I'm going to ask you all to take a seat. Take a seat wherever you are in the space. Thank you for participating. Back of the room, I'm going to ask y'all to take a seat, please. Thank you, thank you. All right, the left side of the room moved more quickly than the right side. Right side, can I get y'all to take a seat now? Thank you, thank you. All right, so those questions that y'all just got to answer and talk to each other about, don't forget about them, all right? Because we're bringing them back tomorrow. So we're gonna come back to this session, reflect on it again, breathe together again, and then we're gonna have the instruments up here. We're gonna have the vocalists up here. And we're gonna create the lyrics and the sound and the vibe with y'all live from this space. So thank you for being so enthusiastic about the questions. I'm sorry to cut y'all off on them, but keep thinking about them, keep talking about them. Find us after the sessions. We'll be around if you wanna give us some more words, some more phrases, some more feedback on any of these questions that you would like to incorporate tomorrow. But that is our time for today, and we're excited to actually turn your reflections and turn your thoughts into a song with y'all tomorrow. So thank you.